The Marshall Fellowship was started after World War II as a token of gratitude from the United Kingdom to the U.S. for all of the support in rebuilding the United Kingdom after the bombing by Germany. It was very much appreciated that the U.S. and Britain needed to continue their very strong ties. So for this reason, the Marshall has been defined not only by selecting American students who are academically outstanding, but also those who show leadership qualities and have the potential to be ambassadors in the future between the U.S. and the U.K. It is hoped that the students studying in England will develop a sense of appreciation for British culture, a British way of thinking, as well as a very international view of the world and the place of the United States in it. As from personal experience, I can say that's very easy to do that. I spent 3 years in Oxford, and I had never been around so many people from so many different countries or seen a point of view that was quite so different from the one I had grown up with. It certainly changed my view of the world and made me much better able to do science and engineering by appreciating that I wasn't just a member of one country, but a member of a much broader community. Because I had had a chance to be immersed in life in the UK and deal with people from all over Europe and other parts of the world, it made it much easier for the rest of my career as a scientist and an engineer to contribute and network and collaborate with people from other countries. And so I spent time in their labs, they sent students to work with them, and they have done the same thing, worked in my lab, sent students to work with me, and all of that really helps the exchange not only of scientific and technical information, but also understanding of different cultures and different people and different priorities. And I think it really helps us all work for peace.
The main reason that I applied for national fellowships were actually because the honors program at Texas A&M reached out to me. I didn't know a lot about many of the scholarships that I applied to before I was reached out to. And so that's why I decided in the first place. And then it just also seemed like a really cool opportunity in general to get to learn in different environments or meet new people. It's always a good experience, and especially since it's paid for, it's kind of like, why not do it? I feel like there's just such a great reward versus investment for those kinds of things that it always seems worth it.
I think when you are challenged to write about yourself as a person, not only in terms of your accomplishments academically, but your values, the impact of your extracurricular activities, so not just say, I was the president of such and such a society, but say what difference that made. Who benefited by the fact you took a leadership role in a certain organization? That makes you think a step further and think a step harder. For me, at that time, it was extremely difficult. I was not that good at expressing myself in writing, and that kind of critical self-evaluation, what did my activities really mean to anybody else, was very constructive. Very difficult, but very constructive. And I think that learning how to do that process in the process of applying for these prestigious fellowships, such as the Marshall, is an extremely valuable part of your education.
So I received a lot of help from advisors and faculty at A&M. We are very fortunate here at having a few professors who won these scholarships in the past, and so I obviously went to them for a lot of help. I know Dr. Frances Ligler was the main person who helped me on all of my applications, and just her perspective and kind of being able, as someone who's been through that process, talking about what I need to emphasize, what I should expect in these applications was really beneficial. And then also just having someone to read through your essays and in some cases be very blunt and say, these are the areas that really need improvement and these are the areas that are looking good.
One, in terms of what I had to write, they helped me focus on what could be important and what was missing in my application. They didn't write it for me, but they helped constructively with the overall, impression that the paragraphs that I would write made. The other thing they did that was partially successful was help me with a mock interview. We did have a mock interview, and then when I was named a finalist for the Marshall, that mock interview did help get me a lot more self-confidence, which was a major problem for me at the time. I still did not do as well as I had hoped, but I did a lot better because of the practice that they provided me. And they were very good at asking some really off-the-wall questions. I still remember one that in the mock interview was, you want to go to Oxford and work in biochemistry. What difference will it make that the water there is different? It was a beautiful question. And that one I nailed. But without a chance to think about things like that ahead of time, it would have been much harder. They would be surprised how many people suffer from the imposter syndrome. Don't let it get in your way. It's as long as you focus on what you're trying to accomplish and not on yourself, the imposter syndrome is irrelevant. So in terms of applying for these fellowships, learn more about the amazing experience of studying in the UK. If you are a self-motivated person, you will love it. Nobody ever had to tell me to go to class. When I did my doctorate at Oxford, I only had one exam and no grades. You have to learn it because you want to learn it, because it intrigues you, because you want to use that knowledge, and you go out and you get whatever knowledge you need. So it's a very different kind of culture than we have here. You also learn that a lot of the people, I would probably say most of the other students seem to be smarter than you are. And that's very eye-opener for somebody who's made a 3.9 or a 4.0 without working too hard here in Texas. You won't be the smartest kid on the block anymore. And just the entire way of doing things, learning for learning's sake, learning because it's information you will use, talking to the other students as well as the faculty, the common room experience where you go into tea and talk about everything from Spanish history to Romanian architecture to the latest gene discoveries. They're all there. So that kind of wide open intellectual curiosity and drive is something we don't often get here in terms of a cross-disciplinary experience.